Green onions are a very common herb that people use all the time in everyday cooking. However, green onions wilt, turn yellow, and spoil very easily if they're not stored properly. When you know how to store green onions the right way, they stay fresh, smell great, and you save money too, especially when you can buy them at a really good price. That's why knowing how to store green onions the right way is a must for every home. I used to store them the wrong way and ended up throwing away a whole big bunch. It was honestly such a waste. After trying again and again, I've finally found 3 super simple methods that are easy to do and really convenient for everyday cooking. Today, I'll walk you through each step. First, use your hands to peel off the old, dry, or dirty outer layer of the onion. Cut off any bruised, yellow, wilted, or damaged leaves so you're only left with the fresh green parts. Next, I prepare a basin of clean water. Add about 1 tablespoon of salt and 1 tablespoon of baking soda into the basin of clean water. Gently stir until everything is fully dissolved. A lot of people skip this step, but to me, this step is really important. Put the green onions into the basin and let them soak for about 5 to 10 minutes. The salt and baking soda help loosen and remove dirt and any pesticide residue on the surface, which makes me feel more at ease when using them. After soaking, take the green onions out, then rinse them under clean running water gently to wash off any leftover salt and baking soda. Be gentle when rinsing so the green onions don't get bruised. Place the green onions in a colander and let them drain completely before cutting or storing. Method 1. Storing scallions in oil. Once the shallots are dry, I just cut them the way I normally do when cooking. You can cut them into pieces to stir fry, or you can mince them like this to sprinkle on top of the finished dish. You can separate the green part from the white part if you like. Prepping them ahead of time really saves a lot of time. When you're cooking, just take them out and use them right away. After cutting everything, I put it all into a clean, dry glass jar. Add the scallions to the jar without pressing them down too much. Make sure to leave about 2 to 3 centimeters of space at the top so the scallions have room to breathe. If you pack them too tight, they get crushed, release water, and go sour faster in oil. Then pour in the olive oil until the scallions are completely submerged. This layer of oil helps limit contact with air, keeping the scallions greener and fresher for longer than leaving them out. The scallions won't wilt, dry out, or lose their aroma. Seal the lid tightly. Just make sure they don't come into contact with air. What I like most about this method is how convenient it is. Just take it out and use it, no washing or chopping every time you cook. One small jar can be used for lots of dishes like congee, noodles, omelets, soups, and more. It saves you a lot of time in the kitchen. The oil absorbs the scallion flavor, so it's really fragrant for cooking. It cuts down on waste when you buy a big bunch of scallions. After use, just make sure the lid is on tight and place it back in the refrigerator's main compartment. You only need to prep it once and it lasts for days. It's a simple little tip that makes time in the kitchen a lot easier and more budget-friendly. Method 2. Freeze green onions in portions, if you prefer scallions in their natural form, or want to portion them out in advance. This is another method I often use. I put the chopped scallions into each compartment of the ice cube tray. Spread them evenly in each compartment and don't pack them too tightly. This keeps the scallions loose, helps them freeze faster, and preserves the aroma better. Then pour filtered water into each compartment, just enough to cover the scallions. Don't overfill to prevent spilling when it freezes. If you fill it with too much water, it'll overflow and stick the compartments together. Spilled water makes the cubes stick together, and the tray can crack when you take them out. Too much water makes the scallions lose their flavor when they thaw. Then put it straight into the freezer. Freezing them this way helps them freeze quickly, so they retain most of their aroma. After 4 to 6 hours or overnight, the scallions will be completely frozen. When they're fully frozen, remove the frozen scallion cubes from the tray. Let the tray sit at room temperature for about 30 seconds to 1 minute. The outer ice layer will soften slightly, making the cubes easier to release. Gently push from the bottom of the tray with your fingers. The frozen scallion cubes will pop out whole without breaking. And transfer the frozen scallion cubes to a zip-top bag right away. Press out as much air as possible before sealing the bag. Return the bag of scallions to the freezer as quickly as possible. Don't leave them out too long. Melting and refreezing will reduce the flavor. Each cube comes in a ready-to-use portion. Each cube is enough for one dish, which is really convenient when you're busy. I just drop one cube straight into the pot. No need to thaw, just drop it straight into soups, congee, or stir-fries. They thaw slowly and give off a mild, fragrant smell, making the dish taste much better. Scallions frozen this way keep really well. They taste good for about 1 to 3 months and can last up to 4 to 6 months without significantly changing the flavor. Method 3, keep green onions fresh by soaking the roots in water. This is another method I really like. I cut off the tops and use that part in another preservation method. Make sure to keep the root part. Put them in a glass or a plastic container, about 10 to 15 centimeters tall. Pour water into the glass or jar, just about 1 to 2 centimeters high. Just cover the roots, that's enough. If the water goes too high, the stalks can get soggy and rot. Note, arrange the green onions loosely, don't pack them in too tightly. Loosely cover the mouth of the glass with a Ziploc bag. Make sure there's a small gap for air to get through. This method keeps the leaves moist so they don't dry out and the green onions stay fresh longer. After that, place it in the refrigerator. That way, the roots keep taking in water. This helps keep the green onions green, crisp, and fresh. Just remember to change the water every day or two. If the water looks cloudy or smells bad, change it right away and trim off any mushy roots. Even after 7 to 14 days, they're still green and fresh, and they may even grow new roots and baby leaves. Whenever you open the refrigerator, they look as fresh as the day you bought them. You don't have to run to the market anymore, and nothing goes to waste. Method 3, paper towel storage, fresh up to a month. If you want to keep the green onions whole and fresh, just leave them whole and don't freeze them. I prepare a food storage container. Line the bottom of the container with 1 or 2 layers of paper towels. Then gently lay the green onions inside, side by side. You don't have to squeeze them in. Don't press them down. Leave a little space in between. Cover them with another thin layer of paper towel on top. Just keep layering like that until everything's in. Put the lid on, then place the container in the refrigerator. The paper towels will absorb the excess moisture. This helps keep them from getting too cold, so they bruise less and don't turn mushy. That way, the green onions stay fresh without drying out or wilting too quickly. Whenever you're cooking, the green onions are still green and fresh, ready to use for your everyday cooking. So when you're cooking, they're easy to grab and easy to use, and they keep their flavor and nutrients. It saves time and helps reduce food waste. The green onions can stay fresh for about 2 to 3 weeks in the fridge. Method 5, drying green onions using an air fryer. Finely chop the green onion tops at the beginning. Smaller pieces let the moisture escape more easily so they don't stay damp inside. This helps prevent them from turning dark and keeps them from smelling sharp or burnt. If you dry them whole, it takes longer, They dry unevenly and the quality isn't as good. Next, put the green onions into the air fryer basket. Lay them out in one thin, even layer. Spreading them out in a thin, even layer helps them dry faster and more evenly, so they don't stay damp or grow mold during storage. Set the air fryer to 90 degrees Celsius and dry for about 10 minutes. After about 10 minutes, I take the basket out and give them a gentle stir. Stirring helps the heat and hot air spread evenly, so the green onions dry evenly. So they don't burn on one side and don't stay moist inside. After that, I let them dry for another 5 to 7 minutes. Be careful not to over dry them or they can burn. Turn off the air fryer and take the green onions out while still keeping a nice, vibrant green color. After letting it cool naturally for 10 to 15 minutes, when they're completely dry, they'll snap easily and feel crispy when you break them. Transfer the dried green onions to a clean glass jar. Make sure they're completely cool before storing, because when they're still warm, they release moisture. If you store them in an airtight jar right away, moisture builds up and makes them soft. They lose their crunch and can easily get moldy and spoil quickly. Having dried green onions ready in the kitchen. It's really convenient and saves a lot of time. They're easy to use in lots of dishes. Sprinkle them on porridge, noodles, soups, eggs, or fried rice. You still get that green onion aroma even without using fresh ones. It's a great way to use up leftover green onions and reduce waste. You always have green onions on hand, so there's no need to rush out and buy more. They last for months. You don't have to worry about them spoiling like fresh green onions. This is the most cost-saving method for me. When green onions are cheap, I prep them once and use them all year. Depending on how busy you are, I can choose from different storage methods like quick use, fresh storage, or long-term storage. Each method makes green onions easy and convenient to use. They help prevent spoilage and reduce waste in everyday cooking. These small habits help me save both money and time, and unnecessary trips to the market. Most importantly, I no longer feel like I'm wasting food. Out of all these methods, which option do you feel suits you best? If you have any good tips, feel free to share them in the comments. Thank you for watching all the way to the end. See you in the next video.